everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Many people are familiar with St. George. He's one of the most well-known among the early saints, and his famous legend is particularly widespread. The story goes something like this. George, a knight and faithful Christian, was passing through a city that had long been terrorized by a dragon. The citizens had sated the creature's appetite with regularly offered sheep, but when they ran out of animals, they had to start sending people. They drew lots to determine who would be sacrificed to the dragon, and it just so happened that the next person selected was the king's daughter. As she went out to face her death, George entered the scene. The princess begged him to flee for his life, but he stood fast and faced the dragon in single combat. After a great battle, he subdued the beast, tying the princess's girdle around its neck and leading it into the city. He told the people he would slay the beast if they would only believe in God and live out his teachings. They agreed to do as he asked, and George slew the dragon. He was richly rewarded for saving them from ruin, but returned everything he was given to the people. While this legend accurately paints St. George as a heroic figure and a devout believer, the dragon only became involved in the tale many centuries after the saint's death. According to most records, George died sometime in the 4th century, and the legend of the dragon only appeared during the 11th century. That said, a colorful fiction isn't necessarily devoid of meaning. Dragons, as a symbol, are commonly associated with the devil, and with evil in general, and multiple accounts of George's life indicate that he died in defense of his faith. The Roman emperor of George's time was Diocletian, a ruler who now is known for heading Rome's largest and most violent campaign against Christianity, which began in the year 303 and continued for almost a decade. Most accounts of George's life set him as a soldier in the Roman army who took issue with Diocletian's persecution of the faithful. Some say he ripped up Diocletian's written orders and resigned from his post in an act of protest. Whatever he did, it certainly drew someone's ire. He was punished for his behavior, likely tortured in an attempt to get him to renounce his faith. When he did not cooperate, he was dragged through the streets and beheaded. Though details are now sparse, whatever George did in life or death caught people's attention. His story survived for hundreds of years to be eventually embellished with the element of dragon slaying. And it should come as no surprise, in spite of Diocletian's bloody crusade against Christianity, the faith survived and once again thrived just a decade or so after the end of his rule. The dragon, in this case Diocletian, held no sway in the face of brave martyrs such as George. The stories of our lives might not be recorded as fancifully as the legend of this famous saint, but make no mistake, we may one day have to face dragons of our own. George had the courage to stand up and face the evil before him, knowing that it couldn't be left unchecked. He may not have actually slain that dragon with his own lance, but even in death, he won a great victory. St. George, pray for us.